Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the Foundry. My name is Johnny with Ken and Sly, and today we're reviewing the next episode of The Mandalorian, and we're on episode 15, The Believer. This one is a really special episode. It sets up towards the end of the season. A lot of action goes down. We get a return of some major characters, and we get some. I like this episode a lot because we get to see more into the Imperial background history, where stormtroopers, just more than a soldier. You get to see some morality, and I feel like they're personified a little bit. And I really like this episode overall. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think you get to see kind of your perspective gets to be shifted a little bit in this episode, where you're kind of like, for like a few minutes there, you're like rooting for the bad guys because like they're helping you at one point in the episode. You're like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like you get some cool background on some characters and stuff like that. So it was a very interesting episode. I thought this one was pretty good. What about you, Sly?
I appreciated that they humanized the opposition in this one too. It was much needed. I feel like we've never really seen sympathy for, the Empire, but this episode expanded on how they're actually people. So
Yeah,
it did a good job.
Yeah, humanize the crap out of the Empire. But last time we left off, the child Grogu has been taken by the dastardly Moff Gideon and the stormtroopers. They're doing some nasty Imperial stuff as usual. So Mandalorian, he's got to go get some help. And Sly, help me out. Where did we begin it? He was out looking for help, right? Well, we saw Boba Fett. He got a new look. He changed it up a little bit. And he got a new paint job, completely painted over his helmet. And there's some lore, I guess, that you had to really look into it about changing some colors on his paint job, right?
I did, but I also discovered I think he already changed the colors in one of the original films, but it wasn't as noticeable until, the new paint job. His helmet, he changed it from the original yellow stripes to red stripes, and yellow was symbolic in the Mandalorian culture as avenging a relative, and I believe red is honoring.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting too, which kind of leads to how I guess my complaints of how how Boba Fett was acting so far into the series and whatnot. But so
It'd still be nice to see like the actual transition of how he became this person.
Yeah, I feel like the season was kind of lacking on that. They really relied on you to know a lot of external stuff behind the scenes, for it to mean something to you, which is okay. Star Wars is a huge fandom, but I still though like you gotta actually have it in the show, and you gotta foreshadow, you gotta lead to it. There are some things that you can't just rely on people just to know. It's more than like the thing with like Batman's parents dying. Like with that,
Right.
like. With that's not, you don't need a show, but like some other stuff you definitely do. But Mandalorian's looking for some
Chill,
help.
Joe. Chill.
Yeah, he's looking for some help. Hits up Cara Dune. He's like, "Hey, I need your help." They got Grogu. They got the kid. And she's like, "All right, cool." And he's like, what do you say?" He's like, "Hey, I need you to look up a prisoner. Like, there's some like coordinates to try to. I don't know." Anyways, we get Bill Burr back. That's the good thing. We have Bill Burr back.
Freaking Mayfield.
Yeah.
Imperial sharpshooter. Former Imperial sharpshooter.
Exactly. Which is really cool. I really liked his character. I thought he was a little 2D in the last season, but which is totally no complaints there. I felt that was like completely necessary. But I'm really glad because he's funny. He's pretty funny. I like his interactions between him and Mandalorian. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I think he really. It's funny because his character is so like chatty, like he will not shut up.
Yeah.
But Mandalorian, like Mando, is like clearly very opposite. Like you can't get him to talk. Like you can never get him to like say more than a couple sentences. So like he'll just say something, and Mando will just be like, he'll just give him a look, and you can't even see his eyes when he's giving him the look because of his helmet. So
there's no facial expressions.
He's just like.
It just almost like makes him more uncomfortable. So he'll just like keep talking because he's uncomfortable by it. It's pretty funny. Yeah, most of the interactions are pretty good there.
Yep. So, what do they need Mayfield for? So I think, at that point they're like, hey, Cara Dune, I need help, blah, blah, blah. But, what do they need to do? They need to go get Grogu, and he's on freaking Moff Gideon's ship somewhere. So they need to figure out where that ship is. And I guess their best plan was, let's go break into an Imperial, Rhydonium refinery on this planet. And we're going to need,
easiest, I guess, at the moment.
Yeah. And we need Bill Burr's character to help us out because he's a former Imperial soldier, so he can help us break in because he's got the codes or whatever they need.
Plus, he's only one of the few people who would be able to sneak in compared to the rest of them.
Right, all of them
I did
have
appreciate
like
that
bounties and
banter.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
They'll
Can't be me.
recognize me.
Yeah.
yeah. When freaking Boba Fett was like, "Can't be me, man."
I know. What if they would have been like, hey, Boba, come in here. Like, we should meet our Moff Gideon leader. He's pretty cool. Here's his coordinates. Knock it. Like last time he was seen, he was with the stormtroopers. In a way.
Yeah,
he's bad.
Yeah, I mean, they just think he's dead, probably, right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, everyone thinks he's dead. Oh yeah.
What if he's just like has a talk show or like he's been doing podcasting and since then?
Live from the Sarlacc.
Just the Mandalorian just doesn't use the internet, like doesn't have cable, he just doesn't know anything. It's like, yeah, everyone knows Boba Fett's been alive, dude. Like he's been fucking like a famous personality. He's a TikToker, he's everything. He's got a Twitch and everything. Like he does it all now.
Totally. Entertainment master.
He does that little chess game and stuff that you see all the time, the little 3D one.
We have video evidence of him dancing.
Yeah. Bro, you play Fortnite? No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're done here.
But yeah, so they need to break in and shit, right? They gotta break in there, and I guess I don't know why this facility was like their idea. Let's like they need to hijack one of the transports, that's taking the Rhydonium, which is highly explosive, I might add, which becomes important later on.
Yeah,
and they're just like, let's take one of these and drive it in.
Yeah,
nobody will notice. It'll be fine.
They're planning to join in a convoy, I guess, like just to slip in. So it's a neat thing because like it's a planet that and the Imperials have taken over, and they have a like Imperial colony here and shit like that, and so there are some resistance there because not everyone is so accepting of Imperial like colonization kind of thing like that. They're just using the planet for resources and whatnot, and they're just stripping the planet of the mines, and some people are down with that, and I guess there are some threats for the Imperials there, but we'll see that a little bit later on. But that's just pretty important that like it's not like the Imperials or the Stormtroopers are just there to be just for the resources, that's pretty important there. But I like seeing different planets and like how they display the Imperials like just taking over and using their resources, how they affect different planets. I don't think you get to see that a lot. I thought it was pretty neat how you could see that in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign, that some planets actually are dependent on Imperials like helping them out and whatnot, like on their presence there. I think that's pretty cool.
It's not so black and white. Like, I mean, OG Star Wars, like the original trilogy, it's very like black and white. Like these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. Yeah. Like total symbolism with like colors and like how the movie's made. That like this is very clear, good guys, bad guys. But like this makes it a little bit more of a gray area, and it adds more like dimension, I think, to Star Wars, which is interesting.
Plus, it's interesting to see like the diversity in how these people react to being colonized. I appreciated how they have this resistance that wasn't too keen on the Rhydonium refining.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like perfect. They're just not too keen on it.
Right.
But yeah, so it's Bill Burr or Mayfield and Mandalorian. They decide like, oh, we are the ones that have to go in, and you got Finnick and Cara Dune on support, and Boba's just like doing his thing, chilling, whatever, painting his armor, some
He's
shit.
the driver. Yeah.
I drive.
Getaway car.
Perfect. Exactly.
Boba driver.
So they're like, all right, they jump into a ship, they knock out some guys, put on the armor, but you don't see Mandalorian's face, but he has a new helmet on, that's interesting. So he's like, he's in a new getup. He's a new getup, and they start driving out with this convoy back to a base full of Rhydonian, highly explosive. And what do you know? Some bandits start showing up, and they see a lot of allies that get destroyed, like a lot of other.
The guys
Imperials.
In front of them, you just see a huge explosion. That was kind of funny, and they're just like, "Oh shit."
Back it up. No.
And so easily, they just wanted to be like, actually, we're not with these guys. We're not with these stormtroopers. So like, maybe don't kill us. But it was kind of seeing the struggle between. Also, really quickly, this really got on my nerves. I mean, like, you got two characters wearing the same armor, in this transport, and you get a little dialogue between Mayfield and Mandalorian, and Mayfield just giving him shit about his helmet. And
Yeah.
and just like I felt like a little cringe when he goes, it's really hot. I don't understand how you can wear this thing. He just like takes off his helmet, and I'm like, I really think we can, just because they need to show like which one's Mando and which one's Bill Burr, and I'm like, just for the sake of the audience, and I just felt like that was pretty dumb. Just be like,
Oh, is that what you think? I don't know. I thought I thought it fit his character, because
Yeah.
he seems like a character that would just like I said, he never shuts up. So like
It was very
he has to fill the air with something, and that's what he says, like
Yeah.
weird stuff like that to fill the air. But also because he just likes to crack jokes, so he's like, I don't like, that's what comes to mind. He's like, dude, I'm taking this off. Let me make a joke while I take it off or something.
Yeah.
But you make an interesting point that maybe they also did it so that you can see who's who.
I felt like when they spend money on a special guest like that, star power, like they feel the
They
need
gotta
to
show his face.
maybe or I'm just like reading into it too
That makes
much.
sense, actually. Yes, having his face be displayed, because I'm not gonna pay this much for some actor who's recognizable and then hide them under a costume.
Yeah, just the way they went about it was just, I feel like if you just would have taken it off, it would have been fine,
Right.
And like maybe if you'd give Mando a look, he just like says like, oh come on, like it's only me here or some shit like that, or I guess that would have been a
Or
little bit
just
better.
like just not have it on to begin with. Like, why even bother putting it on? He should, like when they were getting in it, he should have just been like, dude, there's no way I'm wearing this. I'm keeping this off, like, and just throws it away or something. Like, why bother just with the whole having it on and then taking it off or whatever?
Besides, like, we know who's who, judging
Based
by
on
who
the
ends up
voice that
getting
on.
on
It's like
that, and then who gets on top of the vehicle.
that's
I mean,
when
that's-
oh, that's probably Mayfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
A
gotta be
hero.
Mayfield, man.
All right, so yeah, like all these the transports behind in front of them are all getting blown up left and right. They're freaking out because they need to maintain a certain speed and stability before the Rhydonian blows up. I don't completely remember it. It's not super duper important, but just the closer they hit the climax, the more close they are going to blow up and stuff. And you got these guys on speeders or something, and they're chasing them. These banditos are like, "Hey, give us our Rhydonian back!"
Yep, they're
And,
just trying to cause problems for the Imperials, so they're just trying to blow it up, and they're just trying to get away. But the faster they go, the closer it is to potentially blowing up. It makes it
Yeah,
unstable.
it's more
so-
unstable if they're driving fast. Yeah, so it
So
doesn't
it's
help.
like
the
a
car.
it's like how do you keep it in between while also trying to avoid dying? So it was an interesting combat sequence, but
Yeah,
I did
eventually
appreciate them foreshadowing something during the combat when Mando's defending the shipment.
What was that?
what's that?
The bandits, they are armed with mainly, thermal detonators because they want to blow it up, and then
Yeah.
spears.
Yeah.
And after him getting his ass whooped, I did appreciate that he ends up taking one of the spears and he's using it. So it sets up the idea that, okay, he does know how to use a weapon of this caliber. So we will get to see him use that Beskar spear.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they're not when he uses the Beskar spear later on in
Yeah.
in the story. It makes sense. Like you've seen him already use it. He obviously has the chops to use that kind of weapon.
Because I was
so it makes-
wondering, I was like, are we ever going to see him train with something he's unfamiliar with? Because obviously, like, season 1, he didn't know how to ride an animal for shit.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
Kuiil is like, dude, your ancestors rode this, like, flying fucking dragon. You can handle this.
Yeah. I mean, like, at the same time, I feel like they could have done that as well, too, if they wanted to go into it. They, with the fight with Boba Fett against the Stormtroopers in the last episode, they could have traded weapons because he had that weapon that the Sand People used. I don't know the name of it, but right?
Right.
Yeah.
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 Which was spear-like. I don't know if the same.
It's
how
very
to use it.
similar.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So they fight these guys off, and then right before But right as they're about to die, here comes the reinforcements because they get so close to the base, and a bunch of stormtroopers help them out and save their lives. And for some, it's you kind of catch yourself because you're like, yeah, you're cheering on the stormtroopers who are helping them, and like, wait a minute, these guys are the bad guys.
Yeah.
But
Oops. Yeah.
in this case, like as they walk in, everyone's cheering them. Everyone's really happy that they're alive and they survived and stuff. And it's just kind of cool to see it like from the other side. They're just not bad guys. They're just not all cackling, evil, laughing. Just like torturing robots and shit. They're just like, oh, I can't wait to
Trying to
murder
do a
more
job.
like children. Like it is a job for them, and they believe and they have their own like form of patriotism. For the Empire and stuff, and for what they feel is right. But I really enjoyed that. Bill Burr is kind of sucking it up, and he's just like a little awkward, and Mandalorian is like, please get me the fuck out of here. And they just immediately they find a mess hall and they're like, boom, boom, there's a computer. Let's do it. Let's get the
Yeah, it
coordinates.
was weird that it was in the mess hall. They were like, all right, we need to find this computer. Oh, it's in
Where
with all
you
the food.
Also
Okay.
order the lunches, you know? This is
Yeah.
the mess hall / computer, like the only one. Weird.
Like, I get having it in somewhere in plain sight so everyone can kind of monitor it, but while you're
Seems like
snacking,
a weird location.
yeah, it's odd. Like, here, let me
Uh,
go get my coordinates while you're eating some like pie, dude. Like,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. So they got to go do that, and Mayfield is the one that's going to do it. He's the reason they're there. He's supposed to go interact with it, but on his way in, he notices his previous commanding officer.
Ayo.
So he was like, "No, I can't do this. Like, he's going to recognize me. It's going to be a huge problem." And Mando's just like, "Just go do it. Just
Yeah, he's
go
about to
do
slap
it.
the shit out of him.
Yeah,
He's
I know,
like,
right? I kind of
We're all
wanted to.
got here. Go do it."
he's like, I can't do it. And he's like, you got it because it's got to scan your face and blah blah blah, your eyes, what the hell. And
Like, fine.
And Mandalorian's like, fine, I'll do it. And he slowly walks over there. Everyone's kind of got their eye on him, and the troopers looking at him as well, or the commanding officer that we mentioned, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he plays a villain in a lot of stuff. He's played a villain in like Peaky Blinders. He played a bad guy in Doom movie with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like he's an evil looking, like rat face looking guy. So he fits it perfectly, which I really
And his
thought was
accent,
funny.
that was pretty funny. Like, he had like a Western draw or something. Like,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
It was interesting. Yeah, so and this part was like baffling. Mando takes off his helmet in front of everybody, and to scan his face, and for the first well, not for the first time, but first time this season, I guess, in a while. Yeah, you get to see Pedro Pascal's face, looking handsome as ever, doodling to get the coordinates, rush in because the commanding officer is like, "Hey, what you doing, man?" And he gets up and he's like, "Oh, you two are the dudes who came in with the Rydonian. Why don't you sit and have a drink with me?" And
Well, even before that, Bill Burr saves him because he's like
okay.
interrogating him, like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You'll have to pardon him. Like, he's got a problem in one of his ears or whatever. You have to shout a little bit louder." Like, he comes up with a good excuse. It was actually pretty funny. Like, I that scene was actually pretty comical.
And then what's your name? Brown Eyes. You call him Brown Eyes.
Yeah, it's so weird, but it was a good little another good little interaction, I think, with Bill Burr's character.
And you could see how uncomfortable the Mando is.
Oh yeah, he didn't
without
know what
his
to do.
armor.
Yeah,
He
it was
awkward.
intense. It was a very intense, like, just with like dialogue conversation. Like you felt the anxiety in the air. They did a really good job with this. Yeah,
The whole thing reminds me of the basement in
Glorious Bastards.
Glorious Bastards. Yes, exactly like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's legit.
Yeah. So they have a little seat there, and they're just chatting. And the commanding officer, like I said, like Bill Burr used to serve under him, and he was talking about tragedies before and how other events. So did you say the event that they went through was in a game?
Yeah.
Uh,
it was in Battlefield, actually.
Yeah, it was in
Or Battlefront.
Battlefront. Yeah, it was in
Battlefront 2. Operation Cinder.
Cinder. Yeah,
like
that's what it is. Yeah. And he talked about that, and I guess I don't really know who was to be blamed at. It was just, I guess, like just lacking in leadership or
sacrificing your own men very much.
Yeah, and Bill Burr was really upset about that, and he made it clear he was being very passive aggressive in the conversation, saying like, was it really necessary, And look, this is what we're doing it for, and the commander's giving some sass back, and he's like, I can't. This was when I got a little cringy when he's like, can't wait to use all this Rydonian to make more sacrifices and be more evil, and then you could just picture him about to do the cackle. Then this is the best fucking moment in the entire season. Bill Burr just looks at him, takes out this blaster, and fucking shoots him in the face.
Cap the motherfucker.
Yeah,
dude. And even right before that, Mando, like, he saw that he was getting upset, and he looks at him. He's like, "No." He gives him like a very subtle, "Dude, don't
waving his
don't
hand.
do it. I know what you're gonna do. Don't do it." Give him those eyes, and then he shoots him anyway. Oh, geez.
So much. I love that. I thought that was amazing.
It was good. It was a really good.
And just
really good
the
scene.
reaction of everybody, just like everyone in the mess hall, the stormtrooper, just withholding his lunch, just staring like,
I felt so bad.
What just happened?
Yeah, he's like, "What the hell?" And then, I mean, they have no choice. They gotta follow it up. Now
They look at each other.
Somehow
eat,
their cover has been blown.
Yep. We gotta go. Let's do this. We've already committed now. Let's go.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but the way that Din Djarin moves his body, by the way, without his helmet, he
What do you mean?
still turns his whole body.
Yeah, the classic
when he's
Batman
looking
style.
around. Because
Oh,
he's so
interesting.
used to having the helmet on, and with a helmet, you can't really turn your head all the way somewhat. So in order to compromise for that, he turns his whole body towards whatever he's looking at.
Yeah,
That's
It just
next
looks
level.
like
awkward,
Michael Keaton
really
Batman. Yeah.
Yes, very
So-
much like Michael Keaton's Batman. Yep.
But it makes sense. It
Mhm.
makes
Oh, of
sense
course.
in the
I
context.
appreciate that little detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a neat little fight. They're shooting, escaping, and I guess they had an unplanned escape route to go through the window in the mess hall that really didn't look like you could escape through. But you know what? They managed it. They get to the roof. The dumbass stormtroopers don't have roof access, so they're like, "Let's go hide out on the ledge with them and chase them." Jesus Christ, man!
And they get just like sniped by
Yeah.
Kara and
and Fennec.
Fennec.
Calling in
So-
their 10 kill streak, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was some awful acting by the two of them, just standing on a ledge, just awkwardly with their guns shooting, and just I could have lived and not seen that.
For me, it was the
amazing.
dialogue. I was just kind of like,
The
I would
writing.
have been happy if they're just
Yeah.
quiet and shooting people. I
Mhm.
would have appreciated that.
Yeah, it was. It didn't look and sound good to me. But they make it to the roof and they're like, "Yo, we're here!" And there's Boba Driver Fett up in here, saves the day. They jump on. Mayfield's like, "What did they do?" They're like,
Give me that gun.
"Yeah,
Or whatever,
exactly."
that
He
blaster.
snipes it or something. Yeah.
And then
He
he
blows up the.
shoots up.
Yep.
Yep. He blows up one of the I don't know one of the tanks or something on the roof, and it just makes the
Something.
whole place go up.
Bada bing and bada boom, and they're like, "Saved the day, killed everybody and shit."
Oh yeah, and then Boba Fett finally uses one of those seismic charges again, which was dope. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty
You haven't
badass
seen
the
that
way he
episode
implemented
two.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
And they little reunion, and immediately they change outfits. Mando's back in his like whole outfit and shit. I guess he got completely undressed on Boba's ship, which is kind of weird. And then Cara decides to, since she's like a deputy kind of police officer, sheriff kind of thing now, she's like, "All right, I can't believe that Mayfield died in this accident." And he's like, "I'm free." I was really hoping she would just blast him in the head and be like, "See, he died."
Just shoot at his feet real quick, like, bro, just go.
No loose ends.
Yeah. But they get the coordinates. Mayfield's off on his way. They just leave him there on the planet. I was really hoping he would join the gang, you know? I was really
Yeah.
hoping he
Yeah.
would be, but I totally understand because he didn't.
Yeah.
I could understand that we might bump into him again during his wandering. I would
Yeah.
appreciate it at least.
Mhm.
That would be cool. I
He's
wouldn't
cool.
mind that.
He's cool. What else was happening? Oh yeah, then Mando's happy. You know, he's got his gang. He's got the coordinates, and he sends out a little message and hits Moff Gideon with a little bit of irony, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, sass.
Same damn words.
Sent a little message to Moff Gideon. And did we? Was that the wrap there for that
That was
episode?
the end.
Yeah.
Oh
Pretty
yeah.
sure that was
Okay.
the end, yeah.
Cool.
You have something that I want.
Yeah. But it was a pretty good episode. I like that one. That one might be like one of my favorite ones. I don't like too many of the episodes so far, but that one's definitely up there for sure.
All right. Well, what do we rate this one? What do you got?
I give that one an 8.5.
All right. I give it. I'm gonna go pretty close. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Well, not 8.5, but just solid 8.
'Kay.
Solid 8.
I will give it the 8.25, so we could just call it right there.
All right, the official Foundry
Perfect math.
score is 8.25, baby, for this
Easy.
episode. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want to miss the next one. It is the finale of Season 2. Make sure to tune in for that, guys. But if you enjoyed it, please make sure to check out some of the links down below. I will see you later for the episode finale next time.
Peace.